welcome to Hashimoto's Unfiltered, real talk, real solutions. The podcast where we cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of living with Hashimoto's. My name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, your host, and I'm here to share my expertise, personal insights, and from time to time, conversations with incredible guests to help you take control of your health. Together, we'll explore actionable items, debunk myths, and navigate the complexities of your thyroid health. So whether you're newly diagnosed or a seasoned warrior, this is your space for unfiltered truth and real hope. Let's dive in. The topic for today's conversation is just because I've been getting hammered this week I get hammered every week, but I've been getting hammered this week specifically with emails and private messages and posts in the group and chatting with you guys on console calls with like the uber frustrations that I get. I've been doing this a long time. I understand them completely and I get it. And I'm with you on this one. The frustrations that you guys have with medical care or traditional Western medicine treatment of Hashimoto's in general, but of most chronic illness, autoimmune diseases in particular, right? I posted this in the group, kind of like a little preamble here, and I posted it on my Facebook page. You guys may have seen this before, but let's kind of start broadly here, okay? And I'm literally just going to read kind of what I wrote here. Autoimmune disease, of which Hashimoto's obviously is one, affects women disproportionately more than men. By the way, anybody who's here live, if you have questions, post them in the comment section. If you're watching this on a replay, also post them in the comment section. I always, at the end of these, I'm going to teach for about 10, 15 minutes. I will always answer questions live, Q&A. So if you guys have them, post them in the comment section. I will get to them. They show up right here on the side of my screen. Any comments, post them in there. I will answer them live. If you're watching this on a replay, post them in there as well. Tag me. I'll answer them. So autoimmunity in general, it disproportionately affects women more so than men, 2-to-1. So, and 85%, right? So a lot, pretty much everybody of people with multiple autoimmune diagnoses are women. Okay. So much more commonly affects women than men. Up to a third of primary care visits, right? So primary care doctors, 1/3, 33%, and 2/3, so 66% of people who see specialists, right? Rheumatologists, endocrinologists, that kind of stuff, have medically unexplained symptoms. Doctors can't explain it. Most often, they're later diagnosed with autoimmune problem because that was the cause of all the symptoms. Again, not surprisingly, 70% of those patients are women. These are big numbers here, gang. Now, doctors receive very little medical training in regards to autoimmunity. I don't remember getting a whole lot myself. I'm now the expert with this, and I do this for a living, primarily through study after school and experience. I've been doing this now for 15 plus years, and it's just being in the trenches every day with you guys, helping you. So, and again, most of the research, of course, tends to be on males, which doesn't make any sense because this mostly affects females more so. And again, studies also show that many doctors will discount women and discount their symptoms. Sound familiar, gang? Yeah. Most of you guys that have this are women. Most of my patients with this are women. The majority of people in this group are women. Tell me you haven't had that happen before. Of course you have. I know you have. Right? So as a result, it takes a long time for people to get diagnosed with autoimmune problems. Usually 10 plus years and 10 plus doctors, right? I've seen multiple doctors, right? Over and over again. We finally get diagnosed. By that time, you're like hopeless and broken and you feel like you're on an island. And you start to worry, like, man, am I making this stuff up? Like, like people are starting to think you're like a hypochondriac or something, right? Listen, you guys know when something is wrong with your health. This is what I'm always preaching is you guys know when something's not right, right? We all do. And I talk to you guys all day, every day, and you're sitting here going, my doctors are telling me my tests are normal, but I know something's not right. Even if you've had blood, so you've had these conventional blood tests, everything's normal. And you're sitting there going, I know something's off. Like, this isn't right. Like, something's wrong. The takeaway here, with all those terrible statistics, and you're in this group, so you're doing this, is educate yourself, learn all you can, be proactive, ask for help. And that will give you the balance, the resilience, the control, the power over your health, and learning how to manage it. I will help you with it if you need it, because a lot of times that's where we got to start. But that's the point of this group, is to empower all of you to do that. And again, I will help you to that end. Now, let's get into this. This was an email I received from someone earlier this week, and I get these emails all the time. Slight variations on each of them, but I get an email similar to this probably daily, to be honest with you. And the email kind of went something like this. I'm waiting for my test results to come back and some follow-up tests, and then I'll send them to you. Anyone can do that. If you have labs you want me to look at, you can email them to me. I'll send you my email address. Message me. I'll get you my email address. You can send them to me. We can set up in a console, go over them together, all that kind of stuff. And she goes on to say, look, I'll give you like the preview, like the little synopsis here, right? Said part of the reason I'm reaching out is that my antibodies have gone up, not down, right? They're going in the wrong direction over the last 5 months. And I'm trying stuff, right? She's making diet modifications, taking supplements. She says, I think that Epstein-Barr virus is at my root. Now, I don't know if she's been tested for that yet. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but it could be, right? And I literally was talking with someone earlier today, another person. I have Epstein-Barr virus. What does this mean? Right? It's these underlying causes, right? She goes on to say, super frustrated because I'm doing what I think is what I can do. I'm making dietary modifications, taking supplements. I'm super frustrated because I'm doing all this hard work and I actually feel worse and my numbers are going in the wrong direction. It's like, what am I missing? I'm missing something. There might probably be lots of things we're missing, right? Cut out all these foods, gluten, soy, corn, taking supplements. At this point, I don't know what to eat, right? She said, I think this has been a very long-standing issue since the 90s. And that I've managed it over the years, but got COVID in January, took some of the meds, and haven't been able to rebound since then. Like my health's been really up and down since then, and I more down than up. So it's like people who are confused, trying stuff. It says here, but since I've been up and down all this year, but since the end of July, been on a downward spiral. I'm feeling very anxious, sleep trouble, weird tongue tingling, aches and pains, digestive problems, you name it, gaining weight, all that kind of stuff. So I get it. You guys are frustrated because it's like you're frustrated with mainstream medical care because it's basically non-existent. You get zero help from your medical doctors when it comes to this. I get it. We just read all those statistics, how it gets swept under the rug. It takes forever to get diagnosed because the doctors don't put 2 and 2 together. They don't know how to put the puzzle pieces together. They run surface level testing. We've been over this a million times. If your labs are normal, it's unexplained medical symptoms. Like, it's nonsense. Something is wrong. Something is causing it. So you get super duper frustrated. You're like, I'm done going to these doctors because they're not helping me. So why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting my money? Does this sound familiar, gang? Like, ask me how I know this. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I live this. My wife has Hashimoto's, but I mean, luckily we do what we do for a living. We identified it right away, but I deal with you guys all the time. Like, I'm talking to you guys all day, every day, walking through my physical door, walking through my virtual door. I hear the same broken record, and you guys are probably getting sick of hearing and playing the same broken record, and you just didn't know what to do or where to go, maybe until you found this group. And that's the point of this group, is to have an answer for that, to have a solution to that, to be the opposite of that, right? So I get it. You've been going to your doctors. You're super frustrated. They don't know what they're doing. They're not helping me. They're sweeping me under the rug. They're kicking the can down the road. They're running a couple of labs. They're telling me everything's normal. It's not normal. And then so what do? You're like, the heck with them. I got to figure this out on my own. Like this email I got. And many of you that I talk to day in and day out, God bless you. I love it. You don't have a choice. So you got to take matters into your own hands. That's awesome. I get that. Those are my favorite patients to work with. I talk to you guys all the time, and I'll have a consult with someone like that gives me that story, and I'll be like, you and I are going to get along just fine. I said, because you're the person I love to work with, because you're ready to get well, and I can be the person that can take all these puzzle pieces on the table and find more puzzle pieces that need to be dealt with and let's put this puzzle together. And so then that way we can figure out what's at the root cause of all this and put a plan in place to get it better, right? And get someone well. That's the point. You're never going to hear that from medicine, which leads to your frustrations. I get it, because that's what you're looking for. It's what you want. And you're never going to get it from them, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. I tell people all the time, I've done live streams just on this topic. Like, if you're expecting more from them than what you've gotten, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to be frustrated and we're going to waste time and we're going to be unhealthy. I get people all the time. How do I get my doctor to do this? I think I have that. I'm like, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. So we can keep trying to kind of put that square peg in the round hole, or if you want real help, let me know. Let's get to work. So I get it. You get super frustrated. So it's like, I got to do this then on my own. I'm going to do my own research, right? I'm going to try some dietary changes. I'm going to try some supplements, and God bless you. Those things aren't usually going to hurt, but it's probably not the right combination of things that need to be done in the right order. Or again, not everything has even been identified that needs to be dealt with in the first place. Diet nutrition is a great start. It's not all food sensitivities and elimination diets. That's a great starting point, and that can be very helpful and get someone turned around very quickly. But there's usually other things to look at. Do we need to look at Epstein-Barr virus infection? Do I need to look at mold? Do I need to look at hormones? Do I need to look at adrenals? Do I need to look at genetics? So all these other things that you're just not equipped to deal with or look for, and neither are your doctors, never get looked for, never get dealt with, never get found out, right, in the first place. So I love you guys, and but I'm here to help so you don't have to do that anymore, okay? Even if it's just for advice, like what tests should I have done for root causes, what kind of elimination diet, what supplements should I take? If you just need that advice, let me know. Like, I'll guide you in that direction. It'll go a lot faster and you'll get better a lot quicker, and it'll happen 100% completely if I help you do it. So that's the point of all this. It's not the point of all this, but I will guide you in whatever you need, okay? I understand your frustrations and I want them to end here. Like, I want them to end in this group. So if you want me to tell you what to eat, what not to eat, and you're going to go do it on your own, great, I will do that. I haven't seen it work too well because people get frustrated with that too, because they're like, I know there's more to the story than this, but it's at least a good starting point. I will gladly help you do all of this. That's the point. If people get to me, they typically have three problems, like this email I just read, right? It's like, my doctors are not helping me. They're useless. They're running tests. They're treating my lab tests at best. At worst, they're not even doing anything. So I said, okay, great. We got to fix that. I said, let's sit down and let's talk about, and let's do a history, right? That's these consults, right? Like, let's do a complete history. Let's talk soup to nuts, like A to Z. Give me the story. And I'm just going to sit back, take notes. I'm going to listen, because I want to see, in your previous healthcare prescription, which is usually poor, where have been the failures? Where has medicine or your doctors failed you? Because we need to plug those holes in the bucket, right? So that's number one. That's starting point. Number two is the second problem I get, right? People come to me all the time. They're like, I get it. Now I've done my research, which has been overwhelming. So I kind of still really don't know where to start, but I know I got to do a couple things. And I know number one is I got to figure out my root causes. Like, I got to figure out what's the root cause of my Hashimoto's or my condition. And I don't know where to start. Like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what test to run, right? So, okay, great. This is what I recommend, a couple of tests, right? Blood tests, things like that we can do to figure this out. So that way we get clarity on all of that. So we have all those cards on the table. And then the third problem I see all the time, which again, this email that I just read alluded to, right? These are the problems these are the problems you guys are facing out there. These are the frustrations you guys are facing. I get it. We have to find solutions for all of them, for everyone. So we got to fix the medical failures that's let you down to this point. We got to figure out the root causes. And then the third problem people have is like, I know I got to do some dietary stuff. I know I got to do some supplement stuff. Like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to do after I start. And I don't know what to do after that. And I don't know when it ends. And I don't know how to do it all. Like, I don't know how to get from here to there, because I can't do an elimination diet for the rest of my life. It's super restrictive and you shouldn't have to. So it's like, okay, great. By the time we're done working together, you're going to know this is what works for me. This is what doesn't work for me. These are the foods I need to eat. These are the foods I'm not going to eat. These are supplements I might need to take. We need to personalize that protocol for that person. I get your frustrations because you're probably sitting here watching this in the 10 to 15 minutes that I've been soapboxing here, and you're nodding your head going, yes, All of that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. What you're saying makes sense. I understand that's what I got to do. I understand that's what has to be done to treat me, to figure me out and get me well and to treat this. But I've never heard that before. Like, I've never heard that from any other doctor out there. Definitely not any medical doctors, but not even alternative doctors or functional medicine doctors. Even them, they're just running tests and then prescribing supplements based on the tests. It's not fixing anything. So I get your frustrations because you're like going, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Why have I not heard that until now, right? It's not the way medicine operates. Mainstream medicine, right? They're just going to throw pills at symptoms and look and monitor tests, and that's it. So you're not going to ever get this conversation with them. And again, even so-called functional medicine practitioners or alternative docs, you're not going to have this conversation with them either. That's why people aren't getting better. That's why they're trying all this stuff. They're not getting better. Unfortunately, spending a lot of money, which could have been saved, and on trying stuff. God bless you guys. I love you guys. Again, my favorite patients are the ones that never quit. It's the only way that you lose is when you quit. If you never stop going and stop trying, if you never quit, you can't be beaten, right? There's a famous quote from, I think, Babe Ruth. Literally, Babe Ruth, the historic all-time baseball player. Like, it's really hard to beat someone who never gives up, right? Because you can't like the old Rocky movies, right? You can't be, if you quit, it's the only time you lose. So never stop trying to improve on even your health in general, even when it's really good, right? We never stop that. But I'm here to tell you that it's never over, right? It's never quit. I come to people all the time. People get started treated with me all the time, and they're like, and I want to be the last doctor they have to see. They've done other programs, they've seen other doctors, they haven't gotten anywhere. There's many people who I'm working with currently who are chiming in on posts in here in the group, and you hear them say that. I don't claim to be like the be all end all for everybody, and I don't have some magic wand, but I'm really good at this. And people get to me and I'm like, okay, I want to be the last doctor you have to see. I'm sorry you had to go through all that. You saw those other doctors and took all those supplements and wasted that money. I don't say it's a waste. It's all a stepping stone to get where we want to go, right? I said, but you get on board with me, that's going to end. We're going to get this thing figured out. We're going to get it fixed. And we're not going to stop until we do. Again, when was the last time you heard that out of your doctor's mouth? Never. You don't hear 10 words out of their mouth. You don't even get to see them anymore. They're messaging you through the portal. Nonsense. You know what I mean? I had a client that I'm working with. I spoke with her earlier today. Literally. And we just started getting to work, and Hashimoto's, trying to start a family, right? Was working with another integrative doc or functional medicine doc or whatever it was prior to me, like on retainer, like paying him $100 a month or whatever to run my labs and prescribe the meds and give me advice and stuff like that. And had a scare over the weekend, like literally, like we're just getting started, has Hashimoto's, like trying to start a family, and it was like a false alarm, but like thought she might have been pregnant. So I was like, all right, well, she messaged me right away because I give my patients messaging access, messaged me right away on my cell phone to my phone, like no portal. Also reached out to the other doc, said the same thing. And the doc was like, well, I'll see you in October when we have an appointment. It was like, all right, you're fired. So it's like, that's not healthcare, gang. That's not medical care. That's not service to you. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is, gang. It's the way medicine is nowadays. It's big business. Most doctors are just kind of like robots, just like run the labs, prescribe the meds, message me in the portal. You don't even get to see them half the time. You're talking to a PA or something like that. It's unfortunate, but you're here now, and this group and me and the way I operate is the exact opposite of that. So if you're looking for solutions, you're looking for answers, you're looking for help, you've come to the right place. Let me know what kind of help you need in any way you need it. I want to thank you for tuning in to Hashimoto's Unfiltered, Real Talk, Real Solutions. Again, my name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, and I hope today's episode helped to give you the tools and the insights you need to take another step forward on your Hashimoto's journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode if you think someone could benefit. You can also connect with me on Facebook at Dr. Ray Benedetto and on my website, drraybenedetto.com, for more resources and updates. Until next time, remember, you're not alone, and real solutions are always within reach. Take care and be well.